One of the easiest strategies to implement in fantasy football is to make sure you got a stash play in the IR spot, if possible, if you can handle it. And Jalen Coker's listed on the IR, and he just came back to practice. And this is a player you could pick up, stash, hoard in your IR spot, and he won't affect your bench until you need him. We're going to deep dive him, see the good, the bad, the ugly in his prospect profile to see whether or not you need him for your fantasy football team, or if you even want him, or if it's even possible. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. Whenever news breaks, there's a deep dive. Whenever players climb the depth chart, we're doing a deep dive. If there's a trade, we're doing a deep dive so you know more about those players so you can make your decisions for your team. On top of that, we go deeper on the waiver wire than anybody else on YouTube. Videos every single day, and then we look at every single game this season to help you set your lineups by identifying the matchups and talking about every single player who's fantasy relevant that week. Click that subscribe button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair, but he's back. Practice window is officially open. We fully practiced today. We were out there. We switched up to number 3, so we got that drip going on. We're looking good. And remember, the IR spot's huge right now because you can pick them up, slip them to the side, pick somebody else up. Another thing, I'll just throw it out there now instead of later in the video. Drop the player you don't like, obviously. But if you got a premium lottery ticket running back stash, go look at one of my videos and see if you like that running back or not. You can always just hold tight and see what happens. But if you got players you don't like, wide receivers you don't like, you want to make a move, there's other premium stashes just sitting there on the waiver wire in your 12-man league, 10-man league. Maybe you just make that move. You pick them up, throw them to your IR slot, then pick up one of those other running back stashes or pick back up your running back stashes next week, whatever you want to do. Maybe it's Brashard Smith. Maybe it's Keaton Mitchell. Maybe it's Taj Brooks. Maybe it's DJ Giddens. Maybe it's Jaden Blue. There's like a million of them this year. But why do we like them? AI says flash to 16% target share as a rookie. 12 receptions on 15 targets, 186 yards, 1 touchdown early in preseason, a 112 QB rating when targeted, 2.97 yards per route ran as a rookie, second among rookies last year. No drops, a good catch rate, leads team in passer rating, emerged as a clear wide receiver 2 earlier this preseason, higher fantasy points per game over Leggett, leads Panthers in yards per route run, strong slot presence, projected for 800 plus yards, on pace for that. So there's some good things in his prospect profile. This is a wide receiver with some upside. We saw that when they made the Adam Thielen trade. He was looking good in preseason. They felt good they can make that deal. And this was a guy that wasn't highly recruited out of high school and had to climb the depth chart and get productive at Holy Cross. He blew up during his second season there. His third season, 915 yards, broke the 1,000-yard threshold that final year. His average depth of target was always in double digits from 15 to 18, 14.78 out on his career, which means he can be a deep ball dandy, has a good contested catch rate, yards per route ran, 3.51, 3.11. So he was very efficient, racking up yards. That's what you want to see. And you're looking at him going undrafted last year. He's from Holy Cross. What do you expect? Good size, adjust athleticism, 6'1", top tier burst score, speed score above average at 55%. So you got some goods to his game, but we flashed a little bit as a rookie, but you got a lot of competition here. This is where the questions happen. It's easy to put him in your IR slot, but can you actually use him? This is where you determine whether or not you need him. T-Mac here, he's going to take all the targets. He's going to get all the good workload. Then after that, you got scraps to the rest of the wide receivers. Making it simple. So are there going to be enough scraps for Jalen Coker? Because T-Mac is solid, but he's not even a wide receiver 1 yet. No wide receiver 1 weeks, but he's zapping up the targets the workload, the opportunities. He should only get better as he develops. A first-round pick, a stud out of Arizona, stud out of high school, one of the top wide receivers in all of college football. And you're looking at T-Mac here. He's looking good as a rookie. He's in his rookie ramp-up too, so he should set the blast off later this year, early next year, as long as they can figure out the passing game. Xavier Legette here. Good size adjust athleticism. It's elite at 220-some pounds, 4.3 speed here. A gadget player for this team who can be worked around this offense. He was out some games. Last year he was out some games. But still, this guy can be a weapon in certain scenarios, especially when you got T-Mac, Hunter Renfrow. They had to bring him back. They put him in the slot. Everybody puts him in the slot. He's got good opportunity here. He's been getting good work. He flashed a wide receiver 1 week this year. Outside of that, barely anything else. Coker, last season, had some good moments. He has a wide receiver 1 week in week 15. Week 18, which doesn't count for most of you, but a good bit of you surprisingly do play in week 18. 14.2 PPR fantasy points. A wide receiver 2 week in week 8. That's very good for a UDFA. Just emerging randomly throughout the year. Had good separation scores against the other rookies in his class, had good yards per route ran, and he had good receiving grades per PFF in that rookie class last year. Top 5. That's a deep, talented rookie draft class as a UDFA, able to get some production, not as productive, not as much work as some of the other guys, but when it comes to efficiency, big plays made on the field last year, he's up there with some very good rookies last year. And now they're into year 2. A lot of them are flashing. Some of them are stepping up this year. Some of them are stepping back. But Jalen Coker competed with a very good rookie class last year. That is what you can say. You can't say like he's emerging, he's better than some of the guys he scored better. But you can definitely say he competed well in a very deep, talented rookie draft class last year. You're looking at the target share last year, 14.5%, 8 out of 11.2. Route participation rate, 75%. That's very good for a UDFA. That's very solid. First read targets, 69th among wide receivers, 74th though per share. You're looking at this, and he's getting decent catchable targets, 31 out of all wide receivers. That's solid. That's solid. Target separation, I do not expect it to be high, but 49th among all the wide receivers, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. I expect him to get some contested catches on the outside. I expect that to happen with what we're seeing from the numbers and how we see him play the game. On top of that, you're looking at targets per game right now. T-Mac's killing it, 8.6. Route participation rate, almost 100%. Then you're looking at Legette, 81% route participation rate, and Hunter Renfrow at 73. Coker is probably going to steal somebody's lunch here. Who do you think it's going to be? Coker's probably going to steal some lunch. It's probably going to be Hunter Renfrow's, right? He's probably going to go in the slot, be moved around a little bit. He's probably going to get like a 75-ish route participation rate. ADOT 7.5 for Hunter Renfrow, 8 for Legette. I could see him pushing a double-digit ADOT as he's getting some deeper targets downfield. Routes per game, probably going to be 25 or more. Probably going to be that once we're ramped up, once we're good to go on the field. That's probably what we're going to see because Renfrow released but brought back once Coker went to IR. They were good without him, but Coker got banged up. You're also looking at the targets in this offense. Hunter Renfrow second, but Legette was out. Receptions, T-Mac leads it. Yards, T-Mac leads it. Routes ran, T-Mac leads it. T-Mac's the man. He's going to get the work. He's going to get the opportunities. The question is, can a second wide receiver emerge in this offense? Can you believe that happening? When you're looking at the rate of play here, they do throw the ball a lot. 41 pass plays per game, a 60% pass rate. They throw the ball a lot. They operate a fair amount, a little more than average out of no huddle. They're a semi-fast-paced team, especially in neutral game script. They're about middle of the road, a little bit past that, but still they're looking at 38 pass plays per game. They throw the football, 61% pass rate, and a lot of that's due to the game script limitations, what they have on offense with T-Mac. So you're looking at Bryce Young here. He's heaving the ball. He's getting you there. He likes to throw it over the middle. He'll go deep with it a little bit, as you're seeing that with the numbers, completing it to the deep right, getting 166 yards and 80 over the deep middle, but he'll also throw it straight up over the middle as well, as you're looking at his heat map on the passing locations, and then you're looking at pass attempts per game, 35, 55, 24 in the low, 30, 30. So he's at least going to get you 30, a 30 rack every game, up to 55, depending on the flow of the game, depending on how it's rolling. They're going to throw the football. He's going to get some opportunities. He's going to get some targets. When you're looking at how he's ranking this year versus last year, a little better. A little better. It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel that way at all. A little better on pass attempts, more on completions, but there's a lot more pass attempts. Completion rate, though, is a little better. He was awful at the beginning of last year. He got benched for Andy Dalton. Passing yards, a little better in ranking. Passing touchdowns, a little bit. He's a little better. Not good enough. Not good enough, I think. He's not in the top 15 on many categories outside of completions and passing attempts. But that's saying the volume's there. The volume's there, and Coker might be good enough to buoy some of these stats. This offense might be more efficient with Coker out there. Coker's an upgrade for this receiving depth chart. That's something to note as well. And looking at his role, they're projecting him to be in the slot. I expect him to be in the slot and moved around to the outside. I expect him to have a huge impact. I expect him and Xavier Legette to work as facets alongside T-Mac, but I expect T-Mac to get most of the targets here. You're looking at the passing game here. T-Mac's seeing a 25% target share. Hunter Renfro's seeing a 14% target share out there, while Legette's getting a 15% rate. Chuba was getting it good in the passing game. Something's got to give here as he steps in on the field. I look for him to take Hunter Renfro's lunch. I look for him to give you a little bit more upside, and I look for him to get a lot of opportunity. I look for him to hit a 75 to 80% route participation rate. But the thing about that, can we get the volume and can we get the opportunities to hit in fantasy football? He's a free IR spot right now. He's a free spot on your IR. All you got to do is drop a lottery ticket and pick another lottery ticket up. If it's one of your favorite lottery tickets, you don't have to do it. I wouldn't do it. Like if it's one of those top guys, like if you really like Ollie Gordon and you really love him, you don't want to part ways, fine. Ain't that big a deal. But if it's Kyle Monaghan and you're like, he's just a flavor right now, I can get DJ Giddens when I swap him out. I'm cool with it. All it takes is the starter getting hurt anyways. I understand that. Maybe you do that. Maybe you do that. However, do you trust Bryce Young? Do you trust the Panthers? Do you think they can fuel two good wide receivers? Now it's time for my thoughts. I think he's going to be volatile. I think he will give you a couple good games. I think it'll be a little bit more than last year. Maybe two more. Maybe one more wide receiver 2 week, one more wide receiver 3 week. I don't think he's going to go off. I don't think he's going to be like the next Jerry Rice or anything like that. But I think it's going to be volatile. I think T-Mac's going to step up. If anything, he could help T-Mac, take some of the heat off him. I think he'll help Bryce Young a little bit more. I think this offense might move a little bit better with him out there. I just don't expect him to blow it up. I expect him to be volatile. He might be sitting on your bench. You're like, man, I hate this guy. You drop him. Then he hits for a couple games. Then somebody picks him up. They're hoping to use him. Then he's down. Then he's up. Then he's down. That's what I'm expecting from him. I'm expecting him to be volatile up and down. You can use that to your advantage in the right matchups. If you're hurting because of bye weeks or injuries or whatever, maybe your league's a little deeper. But right now, he's free scratch on the IR. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.